Yo, what's going on, guys? Crispy Flakes here. Welcome to Scenarios. This is where we look at things in the NBA that are never going to happen, but we're just kind of wondering what if. But actually, guys, we got a trade rumor hot off the press, like I just heard about just now, and this is definitely something that definitely could happen, and that is to talk about Dwight Howard being traded from the Houston Rockets to the Boston Celtics. Now, the article that I'm looking at here, like I said, guys, I just heard about this, so if it's changed since then I apologize for the inconsistencies, but it sounded like something with David Lee, his expiring contract, as well as, some of them draft picks that the Boston Celtics have from the Brooklyn Nets. Now, in my opinion, I think they should kind of hold on to those and get Ben Simmons, but hey, that's just my opinion. But basically what we're going to do, guys, is we have Dwight Howard here on the Boston Celtics, wearing number 12, that's the thing, too, it's kind of interesting, because he was actually a Laker, and Laker fans hate this guy. So he goes over to the Boston Celtics, who was like their biggest rival and whatnot, going back in history. So I don't know, it's just kind of, it would be kind of cool to see if he did like really good on the Celtics. It'd kind of be like some poetic justice kind of thing. I don't know how good he would be, but back, because really he was great on the Orlando Magic back when he was in the Eastern Conference. They went out west, hasn't really been all that great. He's been decent for the Rockets this year, but definitely not what Rocket fans probably wanted him to be. But looking at this team here, guys, like Isaiah Thomas, he's an 86 overall. Like, I know he's an all-star and everything, but I haven't been watching him a lot, so, props to Isaiah Thomas, really decent out there. But definitely a pretty good team here. Jared Solinger, he's definitely a serviceable small forward. He can shoot the mid-range game a little bit, so he'd be a pretty good fit next to Dwight Howard. Doesn't really demand the ball in the post or anything like that. Like I said, I mean, of course, I guess I don't know too much about his game. He's got a little bit of a post game right here, but I think that will definitely go towards Dwight Howard, and he can rebound, which is really good too. On-ball defense, not all that good. What was his blocking at? Yeah, only a 61 blocker, so he would actually complement well with the defensive-oriented Dwight Howard out there. And I don't know, just looking at this team, I think that would be a great fit, especially the fact that all they're really losing is David Lee, but also probably some draft picks too, which could turn out to be Ben Simmons, or some other good young blood from the draft there. So I don't know, it's kind of, I don't really feel strongly one way or the other about it. I feel like the Boston Celtics are in a pretty good position to improve their team either way. But let's go ahead, guys, simulate this whole entire season here and see how the Boston Celtics would be if they had Dwight Howard on their team from the beginning. I guess what we'll really be seeing here. Definitely a playoff team, in my opinion, especially out east. I think they're actually already a playoff team, if not, they're right there. And as a fan of the Detroit Pistons, it makes me nervous because it's a very close race, and, I don't want my Eastern Conference teams getting better, because that's going to hurt my Pistons out there. But, I respect good moves out there. When a GM like Danny Ainge, or even a coach like Brad Stevens decides to make a good move like this. And starting the season off here, man, we're 6-0, 7-0. 7-1. Okay, so we got our first loss, but we, starting the season 7-1 definitely is a good indicator going forward. The 3-game losing streak. But I don't know, like, I would probably expect Boston Celtics with Dwight Howard, if he stays healthy and actually plays up to his potential. Definitely a top 4 seed out east. You got your Cleveland Cavaliers, Toronto Raptors, who right now the Raptors are my favorite to win it all to make it in this video. You got your Miami Heat and probably some other team that I'm forgetting about right now. Even the New York Knicks are doing well. My Pistons are doing good. So I don't know, it's definitely going to be a very competitive playoffs this year. I'm really looking to playoffs, especially out west. You got your OKC Thunder. Everybody expects either the Spurs or Golden State Warriors to win, and while I won't be surprised if they do, I think it's going to be a bloodbath out there too, and a lot of competitive basketball. You got your Chicago Bulls. That's the team I was forgetting about. Derrick Rose playing a lot better. Jimmy Buckets, playing like he is an all-star. He should have been a starting all-star, but let's damn, we only scored 50. Y'all see that Memphis Grizzlies game? 59-86. We only scored 59 damn points. That's not going to be acceptable. But so far, we are second in the Eastern Conference. So according to this scenario, with the Boston Celtics acquiring Dwight Howard, it's going to make them a top 2 team. Still, the season's not over with yet. We're only at the All-Star break here. But this is a good indicator of how one player like that can improve the team. Not to say Dwight Howard, he's kind of a shell of what he once was in Orlando. Still a good player, but he has a lot of back injuries and whatnot. And, he's still going to bring rebounds, still going to bring defense, still going to bring a, nice power dunk every now and then. But I think the best fit that comes with him is that he's a heavy personality kind of guy, and he wants to be the guy. Like, he wants to be the guy wherever he goes. And, when he was on the Lakers, I mean, it was Kobe. Kobe was obviously the guy, and, nobody's going to back down to Kobe. Or, Kobe's not going to back down to anybody. And then, when he went to the Houston Rockets, of course, James Harden's the guy there. And I'm not going to say he's as vocal as Kobe is, but I'm sure he is in his own way. Of course, I don't watch a lot of Rocket games. And then when he was on the Orlando Magic, when he was the best player, I mean, he was the best player. He had nobody really defined him or anything like that. And then now, of course, you have the Boston Celtics. You got your Isaiah Thomas, but I think he will definitely, back down to Dwight Howard's personality, for lack of a better term. So I think they'd be fine there. I think they would actually really fit well together, because they kind of need that guy out there. I kind of think that's what they're lacking. And, okay, so I don't see Dwight Howard anywhere on the list here, but I'm sure he still put up a good number somewhere. Actually, don't see any Boston Celtics unless I'm overlooking something. But that's all good. We got third in the conference. According to this, we're going up against the Miami Heat in the playoffs. Let's check out stats here real quick. Player stats. So Dwight Howard averaged about 13 points per game. 1 second here, guys. Sure, we're good with things. All right, we're good with things here. Okay, yeah, so Isaiah Thomas, 22.5 points per game, getting players involved with about 8 assists, over 2 steals a game. But yeah, like Dwight Howard, though, 13 points. So about 13 and 10, roughly that, and 2 blocks. And that's kind of what I would expect from him. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if he scored a bit more if he was getting, touches and stayed healthy. Health is a very important aspect. He's only 30 years old, so, when you're 31, 32, of course, you're on the wrong side of 30 because you don't want to be there. But he's definitely out of his prime, but he's still a very good player in this league. And then, Avery Bradley is a good defensive two-way guard out there. Jared Sullinger, we talked about him, about Kelly Olynyk. Put him at power forward, man. Like, this dude can shoot the 3-ball really nicely. His eyes look kind of scary. It kind of looks like Smeagol from Lord of the Rings or something, or like an orc or something like that. Not to disrespect Olynyk, Orkanik. I hate that. I hate everything I did there. I just ruined the video. I just ruined the damn video by doing that. Amir Johnson, I like him a lot. I wish he would have stayed with the Pistons. Marcus Smart has a lot of potential in this league. Even Tyler Zeller, I think he would probably. I'm looking at the team here. I think they would have to trade somebody else here because this team has so many big guys on here. Nobody's going to want to sit the bench. Like, Tyler Zeller's not going to be like, okay, I'm going to sit the bench. So I think there would probably be some more, a few little things right here. But with this team, it doesn't really come down to that because it's not like we kept like a superstar on the team that would have been traded. Just some role players. So for the most part, I think this is pretty accurate of what we could expect from this team. Top three seed, that remains to be seen. I definitely could not say it couldn't happen. But, it's definitely different here in the NBA, especially the Eastern Conference. Things are just a lot different. So let's go ahead and simulate the first round here against the Miami Heat. Hopefully we can beat them. Simulate current round. Here we go. Oh. Okay, so we actually got eliminated in Game 7 to the Miami Heat. I don't know if that would happen. I mean, I guess it comes down to playoff experience. Outside, does Dwight Howard really... I guess he does have playoff experience. Yeah, he actually made it to the finals on the Orlando Magic against the LA Lakers years ago. And then on the Lakers, I don't really remember how good that team was. I'm sure they made it to the playoffs. I think they had Pau Gasol then too, and Kobe was, not injured as much. But yeah, guys, I thought this was a very interesting thing to look at. It's kind of fun doing this whole trade deadline scenarios. I know the idea is about this being things that are not going to happen, but it's also interesting at looking at things that possibly could happen. So I guess scenarios is more along the lines of that too. But thank you all so much for watching. Be sure to like this video, and peace out, my friends.